Hello. Why do you feel like nothing around you makes sense anymore? Why does the world feel fake and your soul feel restless? Let me tell you why. Because you were never meant to belong to this system. You were sent to challenge it. You're not here to fit in. You're here to break the chains. Listen to me carefully. This is not a random message. This is not just another spiritual video. This is a divine delivery. And if your soul is still listening, then this message is meant for you. God chose you. Yes, you. You who's been doubting your worth. You who's been betrayed, misunderstood, forgotten. You who's been silenced by a world that fears your truth, the pain you carry. It's not punishment, it's preparation, your isolation. It's not rejection, it's divine redirection. Chosen one, your spiritual awakening has already begun. The moment you started questioning everything, the moment you felt the emptiness in the noise of this world, that's when your soul started remembering. And now, something keeps showing up, something that feels like a sign. You keep seeing 10:10 on clocks, on screens, on receipts. It keeps appearing when you feel lost or on the edge of something big. This is not a coincidence. This is the signal, the 10:10 divine signal. Heaven's way of saying, it's time to wake up. It's time to rise. It's time to remember. This number is not random. It's encoded with energy, alignment, initiation, and divine order. When you see it, your soul is being activated. The veil is being lifted. You're being pulled out of the illusion and into your purpose. But here's the truth. No one tells you. The moment you begin to awaken, you become a threat to the system. Because they can't control a soul that sees. They can't manipulate a heart that's been touched by God. And that's why life has been so heavy lately. That's why you feel misunderstood, attacked, exhausted. Because the moment your divine light flickered back on, darkness noticed. But don't be afraid. This resistance is proof that you're not weak, you're awakening, and the system is terrified of your return. So listen closely now. This is your confirmation. The number 1010 is your wake-up code, your signal to stop shrinking, to stop questioning your intuition, to stop hiding who you really are. You are not here by accident. You were chosen to shape this world to its core. And if you've been waiting for a sign from the divine, this is it. Welcome back, chosen one. Your soul remembered. You felt it, haven't you? That invisible weight pressing down on you. Like something's always been trying to keep you small, quiet, and uncertain. It wasn't just life, it was by design. This world is built to keep the chosen ones asleep. Because if you ever remembered who you truly are, you'd be unstoppable. The system saw your light before you did. It sensed your divine frequency long before you could understand it. And it moved fast to break you. Through pain, through betrayal, through trauma disguised as lessons. They called it normal. But you never felt normal, did you? Because you weren't meant to be. You were born different. You were built with a soul that rejects lies, that resists control. So what did the system do? It tried to silence you, to shame you, to bury your voice under layers of fear, self-doubt, and guilt. It sent you people who didn't see you. Because the truth is, they were never meant to. You were sent to trigger the world, not please it. You were sent to disturb the illusion, not blend into it. That's why it all felt wrong. The schools, the relationships, the expectations. Everything around you demanded you become something you're not. Because the moment you stepped into who you are, the illusion would start to crumble. And make no mistake, the system is terrified of your power, not your physical strength, not your looks, but your knowing. Your inner truth is a weapon. Your voice, when aligned with God, is an earthquake. And your presence, when fully awakened, cannot be ignored. That's why they labeled you. Too emotional, too intense, too quiet. Too much. But listen to me. You are not too much. You are exactly enough to shift this world. Everything that broke you was allowed, but not to destroy you, to awaken you, to strip away the false layers until only your truth remained. And now, as the number 1010 keeps appearing, it's not just a message, it's a divine alarm clock, telling you the system failed, you survived, telling you it's time to stop hiding in what tried to destroy you, because your survival wasn't luck, it was prophecy. You weren't meant to be another lost soul in the matrix. You were sent to expose it. So rise, not in anger, but in clarity, with the wisdom your pain has carved into your bones, with the fire that your silence has fed for years. You are a threat, because you remember, and now the system knows it too. You keep seeing it, again and again, on clocks, receipts, signs, screens. 1010, it's not random, it's not coincidence, it's code, sacred code. This is your divine disruption. The universe is no longer whispering, it's speaking clearly, urgently. Wake up, shift timelines, activate purpose. The number 1010 carries a holy vibration. One is the beginning, the self, the leader, the initiator. 0 is the infinite, the divine, the eternal, the unknown. Together they form the portal, an end, a beginning, a reset. When you see 1010, you're standing between two worlds, the one you've been forced into, and the one you were born to create. You're not just awakening, you're transitioning. From survival to creation, from being programmed to being prophetic. But disruption is never comfortable. It shakes the illusion you've been living in. It demands you let go of identities that were never yours. It pulls you out of old timelines, even if your heart still clings to them. That's why things feel so unstable. Why nothing makes sense anymore. Why you feel like you're floating between realities. You are, because the old world is collapsing and the new one is responding to your vibration. 10 is your confirmation that the divine is shifting your path, that your energy is no longer compatible with the matrix you once lived in. It's the moment your intuition starts to get louder than your fear, when the signs become undeniable. When your spirit stops asking for permission, you don't chase anymore, you attract. You don't beg anymore, You align. You don't doubt anymore. You remember. The illusion can't hold you anymore. Not when you've seen through it. Not when you felt the hand of God pulling you out. And so everything begins to change. Your habits, your circle, your mission. Not because you force it, but because your frequency demands it. Chosen One, 1010 is your divine interference. The universe is interrupting your old life to activate your divine one. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to trust, to obey the signal, to walk through the portal. Because once 1010 enters your reality, you can't go back. The only way forward is Youp Chosen One. Have you ever wondered why your life felt like a battlefield? Why you were born into struggle, isolation, betrayal? Why the pain never made sense until now? It's because you weren't built for comfort. You were built for confrontation, not against people, but against systems, against energies, against ancient chains that have kept humanity asleep for centuries. You are not here to follow. You are here to disrupt, dismantle, and deliver truth. You are a breaker of chains, and your soul has always known that. The reason you never fit in, the reason you questioned everything they taught you, is because your spirit remembered something they hoped you'd forget. You came here with divine authority. Before you were born, your soul agreed to enter this world knowing it would try to silence you, knowing you would be misunderstood, knowing you would feel everything deeper than others. But you agreed because your purpose was greater than your pain. Because your mission was bigger than your fear. You didn't come here to escape darkness. You came to confront it with light. You didn't come to beg for freedom. You came to embody it. And that's exactly why the attacks have been so ruthless. The enemy knows you're not ordinary. You carry codes in your DNA that awaken others just by being around them. You spark remembrance. You shift atmospheres. You carry presence, not performance. But here's what they didn't expect: that you'd survive, that you'd awaken, that you'd see through the illusions and still keep going. Yes, the betrayal broke your heart, but it awakened your discernment. Yes, the rejection hurt deeply, but it reconnected you to God. Yes, the loneliness was crushing, but it was in the silence that heaven began to speak. You were never being punished. You were being purified, shaped into a vessel strong, enough to carry the weight of divine truth. 10 is your signal of release. Release from bondage, from generational patterns, from spiritual suppression. It marks the moment the chains lose their grip, because you no longer identify with the prison. The world tried to tell you who to be, but your soul never agreed, because your blueprint came from the divine, not the system. And now, your rise threatens every lie they've built, not by violence, but by presence, by truth, by walking fully in who God made you to be. You were never the victim. You were the hidden weapon, a divine disruptor in human form. So stop apologizing for your power. Stop dimming your light to fit in. Stop making excuses for the depth of your soul. You were never meant to be accepted. You were meant to be activated. This is your moment to stand tall, to walk free, to lead others out. simply by choosing not to stay bound. You are the chain breaker, and 1010 is your release code. You feel it, don't you? That deep, sacred pull in your soul, that inner knowing that refuses to be silenced anymore. No matter how much you try to distract yourself, no matter how far you run from your purpose, it keeps calling you back again and again. Because this destiny was written before time began. You didn't choose this path, it chose you. And 1010 is your final wake-up call. Not a warning, not a suggestion, a divine command. You were never meant to live a small life. Not with your level of pain, not with the depth of wisdom God has buried in your spirit, not with the fire that still burns in your soul, even after all the storms. Chosen one. Do you really think you were put through all that darkness just to settle for survival? Just to clock in, follow the rules, and fade into the noise? No, you were forged in fire, so you could walk through the flames and come out with light in your hands. The world needs what's inside of you. That message, that vision, that healing, that fire. They may not understand you. They may judge you. They may even laugh at you, but that's because they're still asleep. And you're the alarm. You are the signal. Just like 1010 appeared in your life, you are meant to appear in the lives of others as confirmation, guidance, and divine proof. But for that to happen, you must stop hiding. Stop waiting. Stop doubting your worth. God has already qualified you. That unshakable feeling inside your gut, that's not anxiety. That's divine urgency. Heaven is stirring. The angels are aligning, and the universe is making way. But it's waiting for your yes. Not a hesitant yes, not a fearful yes, but a yes. I'm ready. I accept my assignment. I will walk in my divine identity. Because the moment you say it with conviction, everything begins to shift. The resources come, the clarity flows, the doors open, and the people you're meant to impact start finding you. Not because of your perfection, but because of your obedience. This is no longer about your comfort. It's about your calling. You've outgrown the old cycles, the old jobs, the old roles, the old mindsets. And now, you're stepping into your spiritual royalty. That's what 1010 is showing you. A spiritual portal has opened, one that only you can walk through, one that will lead you straight into your divine mission, but only if you answer the call. Chosen one. You are no longer allowed to shrink. You are no longer allowed to delay. You are no longer allowed to pretend you're not powerful. You've been activated spiritually, energetically, eternally. And now it's your move. Will you return to sleep, or will you awaken the world? Because if you've been seeing 1010, you already know the answer. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of your rise. And now, dear soul, if these words found you, it's because you were meant to hear them. This is not just a message, it's a mirror showing you who you've always been. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are being led. So I ask you, will you rise? Will you honor what God placed inside of you? Will you walk as the chosen one you were always meant to be? If this awakens something deep within your spirit, if you felt the divine signal of 1010 calling you back home to yourself, then comment below, "I accept my divine assignment." Let the universe know you're ready. Let your soul know the time is now, and let others see your light so they remember their own. We rise together because you, chosen one, you are the signal, and the world has been waiting for you.